What are the top 5 suburbs in Boise, Idaho? Hey, if you're new to the channel, my name's Craig Flood. I make videos each week about what it's like to live here, eat here, sleep here, play here in the beautiful state of Idaho. Additionally, I'm a licensed real estate agent, so if you're looking to make a move, me and my team would love to assist. You can call, text, or email days, nights, or weekends. We help people buy, sell, invest, and relocate to this beautiful state. And today we're talking about the Treasure Valley, which most of you are probably thinking of Boise, Idaho, but there's all these great cities next to Boise, and we're going to talk about the 5 best suburbs outside of Boise, Idaho. And we're going to save the best for last, one of the most popular cities that people move to when they're thinking about Boise, Idaho. So let's go ahead and get into it. Number 1 is going to be Star, Idaho. So on the map right here, I'm going to be highlighting every single city that we talk about so that you can get a bearing of where it is in relation to Boise, Idaho. So Star, Idaho is going to be right here. It's going to be right next to Eagle. You kind of see that Boise is just over to the right. A great thing about Star, Idaho is that it's located up against the foothills right behind it. Additionally, you have the Boise River, which kind of cuts right through here. Now, if you decide to live in Star, but maybe you're going to work in Boise, or maybe you just are curious how close that is, you're looking at about a 25 to 30-minute drive from Star, Idaho, all the way over to Boise. Right now, the median home price in Star, Idaho is going to be right around $546,000, and the median rent is going to be right around $1,200. Now, in terms of the makeup of the city, let's just talk about, like, say, renters versus owners. In that community, you're going to have about 18% being renters and the other 82% being homeowners. The population in Star, Idaho is just under 12,000 people, and the median income is right around $88,000. Now again, Star, Idaho is a great little town. It's right along the foothills. Eagle is a really desirable area, and I find a lot of people who maybe can't afford Eagle, and we'll talk about that later, but people who can't afford that tend to lean towards Star, or Eagle's a little too big for them. They want a larger piece of land. They like even a smaller feeling downtown. Then they also head to Star. Downtown Star is kind of your classic small town where the road cuts right through it, but it is growing. Out in Star, you're going to have access to the Boise River, access to some good grocery stores and parks and schooling and medical options. And one thing more to note about Star, let's look at this map. If we look at Star, you kind of see Highway 16 cutting up through here. That actually takes you out to Emmett, Idaho. Emmett is another option, but it's not on today's list. But if you want to watch a video on it, you can go check that out on my channel. Highway 16 is right here. If you notice, you have 84 that cuts right through here. It's kind of your main thoroughfare. It's what takes you into Oregon or takes you on to Wyoming and all these other places or down to Salt Lake City. It's your way out. You'll notice there's really no good connection between Star and 84. It's just a bunch of houses through here. I apologize for my scribble drawings, like a child's drawing this. Really, you have 44 that gets you out to 84, or you kind of just have to cut and weave through. So let's erase all this. But what they're working on right now is connecting Highway 16 down to 84. So again, this is Highway 16, and imagine, boom, it cuts all the way down to 84. So coming up in the future, people are going to have really good access to get in and to get out of Star, which is something to think about. All right, next up is going to be Caldwell, Idaho. Let's look at the map. So here we are. This is going to be Caldwell, Idaho, just off to the left over here. You kind of see 84 cuts down, and Caldwell is kind of on that far side edge, not too far off from Nampa down here, but it's kind of taking up that left side of the Treasure Valley. So if you decide to live in Caldwell and maybe you work in Boise, Caldwell and Nampa are really kind of bedroom communities for people who want to live in the Treasure Valley, want more affordable homes. Caldwell and Nampa are going to offer that. But with Caldwell, you're looking at about 30 to 35 minutes to get into Boise, Idaho. Something special to note about Caldwell is it does have Indian Creek Plaza, a beautiful little downtown area. There's a creek that runs through it. They've done a good job with that space for dining, events, a lovely place to go walk around. Not all the cities in the Treasure Valley are going to have such a great kind of small downtown area like Caldwell does. In terms of population in Caldwell, it's going to be right around 61,000. The median home price is going to be $395,000, and the median rent is going to be right around $1,000. Now, in terms of renters versus owners, for renters, they're making up about 29%, and owners are making up 71%. And the median income for Caldwell is going to be right around $65,000. Now, let's just compare Caldwell to, like, say, Star, what we just talked about. Star is pretty close to the river, and it's close to the foothills. Caldwell is farther away from the foothills, though the Boise River does kind of skirt the northern edge of it. You also got that creek that cuts through town. It's going to be really flat. You're going to see a lot of farming land out there. It hasn't been overdeveloped yet like Meridian and other places as you get closer to Boise. So think more rural. You're a little bit farther away from things, but just remember, it takes about 45 minutes to drive from one side of the Treasure Valley to the other side. So depending on where you live, if you're already used to commute, you might have a commute that's a lot longer than that, and that just doesn't seem like a big deal to you. So that's going to be Caldwell. Lovely rural area on the outskirts of the Treasure Valley. All right, next is going to be Nampa, Idaho. So Nampa, Idaho is going to be located just down here. You kind of see its relation to Caldwell. Nice things down here. You're going to have a Costco right in this area over here. Something else unique about this, and you see it on the map here, it's going to be Lake Lowell. So Lake Lowell is a great lake if you want to go boating. Pretty flat around the area. Not really any homes on Lake Lowell, but a good spot to go drop your boat and go spend some time in the water. Another major reservoir, just since we're here, is if we scroll over here, you're going to have Lucky Peak right up here. So that's going to be to the east of the city. If you're in Nampa and you're looking to boat, you're definitely probably going to Lake Lowell. You're not cutting it all the way over to Lucky Peak. And then another reservoir, since we're talking about reservoirs, is going to be up north. So north above Star. Remember, we'd already touched on Emmett, and that's going to be Black Canyon Reservoir, another great area to go boating. So if you live in Nampa, Idaho, again, your commute's going to be right around 30 to 35 minutes. 84 is going to take you straight into Boise. The population in Nampa is going to be right around 100,000 people. The median home price is going to be right around $407,000, and the median rent is going to be right around $1,200. Now, renters to owners, let's talk about that. 29% of the population is going to be renting, and 71% of the population is going to be owning. And your median income in this area is going to be right around $67,000. Some unique things about Nampa, again, you're further away from the foothills, you're getting further away from the Boise River as well, but you are going to have a really nice established downtown, more so, I would say, than Caldwell, and you also have some great amenities over in that area. You have places like Costco and some good shopping options that have kind of anchored themselves on the left, or I should say west side of the valley, to kind of service these larger cities over there. Next up is going to be Eagle, Idaho. This is definitely a popular one. Let's get into it. So here we are looking on the map. This is going to be Eagle right here. Very, very desirable place to live. Something that makes Eagle so great, again, you're going to have the foothills strewn throughout here. You got the Boise River. Got a lot of beautiful homes kind of scattered all along this river. Very luxurious homes, gated communities. It's definitely an area in the Treasure Valley that caters to the more affluent. The drive from Eagle into Boise is going to be right around 20 to 25 minutes. Now, the population of Eagle, Idaho is going to be right around 30,000 people. The median home price is just going to be under $780,000. That fluctuates a lot depending on, maybe there was a home that was very expensive that sold. It can really skew those numbers back and forth. The median rent in Eagle, Idaho is going to be around $1,700. And the percentage of renters to owners, renters is going to come in at 13%, and owners is going to come in at 87%. The median income for Eagle, Idaho is going to be right around $114,000. Now, Eagle, Idaho is a very charming city. It's got a very lovely, quaint downtown. They're actually doing a lot of work to it right now. The main intersection is kind of all torn up. They're building a multi-story building there with a mix of residential and commercial and downtown shopping. You have the fly shop downtown. You have the river that kind of weaves its way through, a walking path along the river. You got the green belt, which is a 25-mile stretch of trail that kind of goes on either side of the river, all the way from Lucky Peak, like we mentioned earlier, all the way out to Eagle. And so you have access to that. But it has a lot of charms. You're going to have golf courses and good shopping. You got a great library. Very, very lively. It doesn't feel super rural, though it is definitely outside the city, but not by much. But all in all, it's a lovely place. And it is very centrally located to the Treasure Valley, right? You're kind of right in the middle. All right, the last one is going to be Meridian, Idaho. This might be one of the most popular cities and growing cities here in the Treasure Valley. All right, let's pull it up on the map. So here we are. This is going to be Meridian. I think I got it right. It stretches over 84, kind of oblong, but it butts right into Boise, runs right up against Eagle right there, as you can see, butts up to Boise right there, and then jumps 84. So the population of Meridian is going to be right under 120,000. In terms of drive time, depending on where you live, you're 15 to 20 minutes from downtown Boise. The median home price in Meridian, Idaho is going to be right around $556,000. The median rent is going to be right around $1,500. And in terms of renters versus owners, renters you're looking at 24%, owners you're looking at 76%. And the median income for this area is going to be around $93,000. Now, Meridian is very centralized. It is the center of the Treasure Valley. Off to the right or off to the east, you have Boise, and then off to the left, you got Caldwell, Nampa, and then you kind of have Meridian dead in the center. You got Eagle up above it, Cunin down below it. Very, very centralized. You have a lot of growth happening in Meridian. You have a lot of farmland, a lot of open space that's getting developed, a lot of new construction. You have the Village, a beautiful outdoor shopping center. And in fact, this is exactly where In-N-Out chose to plant their first location. They put it directly in the parking lot of the Village, that outdoor shopping center in Meridian. So that tells you something about Meridian, that In-N-Out said, hey, that's where we want to do our first location. Meridian might feel big and sprawling to you. You have 5-6 lane roads connecting Eagle down to 84 that cut right through the heart of Meridian. It could feel very suburbia, depending if you come out, right? If you come out, you'd be like, oh, I don't know if I like Meridian, or maybe you love Meridian. Maybe you love the homes that you can get there and what the lifestyle can be like. I actually talked to one guy who's moving out, and he said, there is a jiu-jitsu gym that I absolutely love. It's in Meridian, so I'm heading to Meridian. So you're going to have your reasons of why you might love it or why it might not be the best fit. Something else I want to note is that as some of you are thinking about making this move, you're contemplating a scouting trip. And I just want to say this, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you're planning a scouting trip. We would love to help you in that process. I talked to multiple people this week all about scouting trips and how we can make those successful for you. Do not think that you're bugging us or you're too early in the process. We've had multiple people come to Boise without reaching out to us, start their scouting trip, and then feel lost and confused, and then reach out to us 1 day or 2 days into their scouting trip, and they feel like, oh, we thought we would understand it. We thought the videos would make sense of it. My goal is to make these videos as helpful as possible for you guys, but when you actually come here, it's just different. And so we want to help you and kind of hold your hand and say, hey, what kind of lifestyle do you want? And then at that point, we would be happy to make recommendations saying, hey, when you come, go check out this area and this area and this area. Don't really bother with these areas based on what you're wanting. And if there's any doors that you want us to open for you so you can see your house, or not your house, maybe your potential house, but see what a house would look like, maybe in a neighborhood that you're interested in. Again, this is what we're here to do. We're here to help as many people as we can make that relocation to this beautiful state of Idaho. Hopefully this video is helpful. If you guys want to watch another video, check out this one where I do the pros and cons of Boise, Idaho.